Good morning everyone. Today I am going to discuss what is shell because BCA students are having practicals on shells whereas they don't have any theory component for shells. So I thought of recording the video about what is shell. So let us see the definition of shell. Normally shell, we talk about shell when we talk about Linux operating system that we are going to use to run our shell as well as to run our C programs. So let us see the definition of shell. Shell is a program or you can call it as a script. Okay, so it is just a program that provides an interface. Let me take the pen. So shell is a program that provides an interface between the user and the operating system. And what is operating system? Operating system is an interface between the user and the hardware of the computer. Okay, so shell is a program which acts as an interface between the user and the operating system. Okay, and what is the purpose of it? Or when we say like this is an interface between the user and the operating system, what exactly do you mean by this? It simply means that user can interact with the computer by entering the commands. What are the commands? Commands are some instructions which user want to execute so that he or she can get the desired output. Now when user interacts with the operating system, there are two types of interfaces. One is command line interface, also known as CLI, and the other one is graphical user interface, also known as GUI. Okay. So let us see what you mean by command line interface or the shell which supports the command line interface. This is nothing but text based interface, and in this case user has to type the command. Example of such shells are bash, sh, zsh, csh. This sh shell known as Bourne shell and this bash known as born again shell, these two shells are commonly used shells. For our programs in our lab, we are going to use bash shell. Okay, that is born again shell. Next is graphical user interface. So in this case, the interface is nothing but it is a visual interface. Now when we talk about visual interface, it simply means that it has windows, it has icons, and it also has the menus. Okay. Example of such interface is Windows Explorer, GNOME, and KDE in Linux. Let us see some functions of shell. The first function is it interprets the command typed by the user. Second, it executes the program, also known as scripts. Third is it manages input and output. For example, variables and processes. Then next is automate task through the shell scripting. Once you write a program, writing a program is you are automating the task, whether it is in shell script or whether you use some high level languages and you write a program. Writing a program is nothing but automating the task. So the fourth function of the shell is nothing but automating the task. And how does it automate the task? Through the shell scripting. Let us see one example in bash. So here is an example. There is a command called as echo, and you see you can see there are inverted commas, and between these inverted commas there is one message which says hello world. Echo is the command. Now when we execute this particular command, what is the purpose of this command? It simply prints the given string or value to the terminal. In this case, it is going to print hello world in our terminal. What is a terminal? Terminal is a window through which the user interacts with the operating system. Now let us see the bash interpreter little closely. Now whenever we write a program, let us have a good practice of writing this particular command as the first statement of our script. And what is this command? This is known as shebang, also known as hashbang. And why do we need it? This hash and exclamatory mark tells the system that this file should be run using the interpreter that follows it. So if you see, what interpreter are we following? Bash. The name of our interpreter is bash. Okay, so this slash bin slash bash, the slash bin slash bash is the path to the bash shell known as born again shell. When you use this particular line as your first line in your script, it makes your script portable as well as executable. Now let us see how do we accept the input from the user. To accept the input from the user, we have the command known as read. So this read command is used to accept the input from the user. And what is the syntax of this read command? You have to say read and whatever is the name of your variable. So let us see one example. So here is the message for the user. Using the echo, we are printing the message which says enter your name. When this message is printed on your terminal, there is one more command called as read name. Now what is this name? Name is a variable and we are using this variable along with the read command. That means we are waiting for the user to give the input. Okay, and whatever user gives as an input, that will be stored into the variable known as name. And we want to display the value of that variable. So again we are using echo. We are saying hello, and if you see now instead of putting it as name, I am using $name. So in echo command, whenever you want to display the value of the variable, you have to have the dollar symbol just before your variable name. So this message is printed when we execute the program. This message is printed on the terminal. Enter your name. User enters the name and we are displaying that value known as $name. So see, if you see, this is the output. It says enter your name. I am entering the name as Smita, and this echo command will print this message, hello Smita.